our cost report over here. So you can see that inside of here. Once we clear, how much topsoil we stripped. That was another number. How much top cut, earth action, and expansion factor. If you have rock on site, you can put that kind of information in here. How much retaining wall we have, fine grading costs, and then because we know materials, so on and so forth. So it's tracking those things. There's those over here. These are averages, but you can always update these to whatever costs you want them to be for your local municipality as well. All right, so we can exit out of there, and then you can kind of see how, if I grade this, what the impact of that is. Now, the models go, but it doesn't really reflect reality necessarily. A box, a blue building, you know, for me as an engineer, that's good enough, really. But they might want to see what the bag looks like with a car in it, that kind of thing. So there are some tools inside of here that you can add these types of things in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn, well, first let's do this. I'm going to go into my, and I have a couple of blocks in here of different buildings. So from and bring this building, assign this block that I'm bringing in here. I'm going to assign it to this area over here. And what that's going to do is going to take a vertical model of a building that fits these parameters and assign it to all the buildings inside of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on this guy, and I'm going to go and select on the block here. And let's get rid of this guy. Now what that's going to do here, it's going to go ahead and assign that block to these pads. So now, rather, when I go back into this reality model over here, and put my hardware render on, it's also going to show the vertical models of the buildings as soon as it catches up here. Now, one of the things that's good about this is, you know, you can see that we put a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-story building in here. And you can kind of see by looking at it, does this fit this community or not? Is that too intrusive? Do we need to decrease the density? You know, and all these different kind of questions, and there'll be a lot of questions that you'll get in public hearings and things like that as well. You know, this doesn't look right. You know, and these are things that are hard to explain a lot of times. So, you know, being able to visualize these things and set a setup for one is the first step, but we'll be able to take this up to something like Luminar 2, which you can do some really cool visualizations with. This is more for us to just kind of check as we're going through it. But maybe we say, you know, that building is too big. What does it look like, you know, if I go ahead and do a different kind of building? So let's go ahead and, I'm going to go ahead and bring this model, and I'm going to replace that model in there with this model. So let's go ahead and take this model, let's go ahead and replace it with that one. Get my grading solver again, let it grade here for a second. And then let's see what that looks like. So let's go ahead and look at my 3D viewer here, put my hardware render on. So that one's more like a 3-story building in here. You know, and that may be a little bit more, you know, may match the neighborhood a little bit better, but maybe, you know, we could change the building, you know, the density in here, and maybe you only get 6 buildings instead of, you know, 4 buildings per pod instead of 6 buildings per pod. You know, all those decisions we can look through the consequences of all those different decisions pretty quickly. Look at kind of how it visually impacts the surrounding neighborhood using our reality model.